First day out here with the P320 X Carry Plus Polymer 80 grip frame. Looks really good, feels really good in the hand. Now we're gonna find out if it shoots really good. Dare I say, match made in heaven? What's going on, guys? I'm glad you're here at Sieber Shoots, back with another video. I want to start off the way that I usually do, asking you if at any point in this video you feel like giving me a thumbs down. Go down in the comments section and let me know why. I have this problem with my 7-year-old. She's always getting grumpy, and then when I ask her what's wrong, she's just dead silent, or she just won't give me an answer of what's wrong. I can't fix her problem until she tells me what her issue is. Don't be like my 7-year-old. Go down in the comments, let me know what your issue is. I'll try to fix it, and I'll try to make my videos better for you. With that said, let's get into the video. As you can probably tell, I am talking about this beautiful firearm sitting right here in my hands. This is a P320 X Carry from Sig Sauer, but it has some modifications to it, and that's what I want to talk about. So let's talk about my journey with the X Carry first. When the X Carry first came out, I thought it was a really good looking gun. I am a huge fan of big, nice beaver tails. The bore axis is a little bit high, but if you have strong wrists, it's nothing you can't overcome, and there are many prominent, fantastic shooters who work with the X Carry as well as all of the other Sig Sauer products, and the high bore axis doesn't seem to bother them. So if that's your excuse for not getting one of these, then I think the issue is that you're compensating for not having great shooting fundamentals. This thing is a pleasure to shoot if you know how to shoot. So the first X Carry that I owned, I carried it for about 6 months, and I put about 1,000 rounds through it. It was brand new, bought right out of the store, and I loved it through about the first 700-ish rounds, and then it kind of started to bore me just a little bit. I also, for whatever reason, whether it was because I just didn't have as much training as I needed or whatever, I didn't shoot it fantastic. I shot it well enough that I was confident in carrying it, but I wanted something that I felt like I could shoot better. So I actually ended up trading that one. It was all black. I traded that one for an M&P 2.0 compact, which if you've watched other videos on this channel, you've probably seen. I loved that gun as well through my first, I'd say, 500 rounds, but then the same thing kind of happened. I was shooting it really well, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the ergonomics. It didn't seem to fit my hand very well. It wasn't very comfortable. I hated the stippling that it came with, and I know I could have gotten that changed, but in the end, I just decided to sell that firearm, and with the money from that, I ended up buying this X Carry. So let's talk about that a little bit. A while ago, I think it was a couple months, Polymer 80 released a little thing saying that they were going to be making a grip frame for the P320. And that got me really excited because I knew that if Polymer 80 was making it, they were going to be making it with their ergonomics, and I really like their ergonomics. I don't own any other Polymer 80s, but I've shot my buddies, and I really liked the way that they fit in my hands. It brought me back to thinking about the X Carry and how much I really enjoyed it. It just kind of got boring after a while, and if I'm being honest, I don't love the ergonomics of their grip frame. They're better than Glocks for sure, but they're not awesome. With that money that I got from selling the M&P, I put an ad out on my local buy and trade website where I get all of my guns from these days. I said that I was looking for an X Carry. Eventually somebody hit me up and said I have an X Carry that I'm ready to sell. The price was right, so I went ahead and met up with the guy and bought this X Carry from him. It had the black grip frame, which is normal with just about all the X Carries unless you're getting like the Coyote one. And it came with this silver slide, which I thought would be really, really cool to go with this gray frame. Funny thing about this is I was looking for one of these frames in stock because they went pretty quick on Polymer 80's website. I found a place called Rainier Arms. They're based in Washington. I don't really care where it was coming from, but I just wanted to find one, and it was about $10 cheaper than I could get it from Polymer 80 as well. So I went ahead and bought this grip frame and had it shipped in, and I got it before I even had the X-Carry. So this thing was just sitting around in my safe waiting for the X-Carry to come and finish it off. The cool thing about this Polymer 80, it's not like other Polymer 80s where you get it and then you have to actually mill it out yourself and finish the build. Because of the way the P320 is modular, it kind of got rid of the need for that. So really all this does is adds, in my opinion, improved ergonomics to the firearm. So all you have to do when you have your X-Carry and you're trying to switch it over, or any other P320, is you're just going to take it down like you normally would with the takedown lever, pull the slide back, lock it, flip the lever, take off the slide, then you're going to punch the lever out from the other side because that's what holds in the fire control group. From there, you pop out the fire control group, pop it back into your new frame, and then throw on your slide and you're done. So it's really simple, and in my opinion, it is super worth it. If you'll look, you'll notice the serial number is still right here showing through. Polymer 80 even decided to cut it out so that that was visible, and I thought that that was a really nice touch. But anyway, the frame is finished, ready to go right out of the box, and not serialized, so you don't have to worry about an FFL. This thing shipped straight to my house. From there, I just went and bought an X-Carry from a guy who didn't want his anymore. So this gun was 100% background check free, which is a really nice added touch. So as far as features go, I just want to start from the front and work my way back. It's got your typical 1913 Picatinny rail, nothing super special about it. Other than that, here at the front, you'll notice some nice little cuts, which can be a really good place for you to get your thumb in there and press down. So it's almost a built-in gas pedal, if you will. It can be used as that. From there, going back, nothing is really crazy. There's a little notch right here. I think on other P320 models, the slide stop, slide release would probably fit up under or above, I guess, that notch really well. On the X-Carry, it doesn't really do that because the slide lock, slide release is a little bit more extended, so it kind of goes over that. But anyway, if you get a different P320, just your normal one, not an X-Carry, then your slide stop, slide release will probably fit really well with this little bar that they decided to include. Going back from there, the next thing of note is a really nice, oversized, and textured mag release, which I really like. It's really easy to reach, it's super easy to push, and I haven't had any issues with it at all. Normally I have problems with this style of mag release because it goes through all the way. If you notice, when I push from one side, it pushes out the other. Sometimes my hand will be in the way, so when I go to push it, it won't go through all the way and the magazine won't drop free, and that really bothers me. But with this, the grip is fairly big, and so I do have to break my grip just a little bit in order to get to it. Breaking my grip like that curls my fingers up and out of the way, and as you can see as I push, it'll pop up and my finger is not in the way. If you've got bigger hands, you might have an issue with that. It will be easier for you to get to the mag release, but it might cause you issues if you're hitting it on the other side. The next thing I want to talk about is the texturing, which I think is one of the best things that Polymer 80 does with any of their products. You can see this really nice, fine texturing. I would never have this thing stippled because where it is now, it's just perfect. My fingers grab onto it super well, it digs into my palm on the back, and then my support hand palm gets in there and holds onto it really nicely. So can't say enough good things about the grip, because the next thing I want to talk about is the ergonomics. You'll notice that it has more of a 1911 grip angle. When I first got into firearms, I gravitated towards the 1911, and my first carry gun was a 1911. There's just something that I love about the nice straight grip angle. It's not dramatic. This way, and it's not straight up and down too far that way. It's just got a nice slant to it. The fact that it's straight up and down, there's no palm swelling. I've said this in other videos before. I have enough swell in my palm already. You don't need to add palm swell to the gun, in my opinion. It's one of the things that I didn't love about the M&P 2.0, and it's one of the things that I really didn't like about Sig Sauer's grip frames. So the fact that I can get this nice 1911 grip angle is awesome. I also, like I talked about, I love beaver tails. I think one of the reasons I gravitated towards the 1911 as my first gun was because of the nice big beaver tail. Guns without beaver tails are a no-go for me. I will not buy a handgun that does not have a beaver tail. I just don't want to. I know that the bore axis is high, I get that. But this beaver tail really allows you to choke up and feel like you really are in control of this firearm under recoil, which is important considering the high bore axis. The higher you can get up, the more in control you'll feel of the firearm. This nice big beaver tail is a beauty to me. Let's go on down to our Magwell that you see here. This is a product that you can buy on the Polymer 80 website. It does not come along with the grip frame. You have to buy it separate. They teamed up with a company that I believe their name is Steel City Armory, SCA. It's either Armory or Arms or something. I'll put it up on the screen for you in nice big bright orange letters. Anyway, in my opinion, this is a must if you're going to do a build like this. You'll notice that it's not as intense as most Magwells. Most Magwells will have big lippy ramps on all sides. For this, they went with a enhanced back ramp, and then this front piece, although it's not really ramped, I will be honest, it does help in easing the magazine in there. If you get hung up on the front, it's just an easy push and it'll guide it in there. If you're coming in from the back, it's really easy, nice and smooth. You'll notice that there's a whole bunch of chunks bitten out already from the work that I've been doing with reloads. But this Magwell, the thing that I like about it is it works and it's really low profile. I think they forewent the ramps on the sides because A, it's not often that you miss left and right of the Magwell. It's more often that you're too far forward or too far back. Those ramps to the sides aren't super necessary, but this also makes it so that this gun, here I'll grab a different magazine, as easy as it is to conceal a big old extendo. So first of all, it doesn't interfere with a normal magazine. They go in just fine. You don't need any kind of base plate extension or replacement of any kind. And then if we go down here into our Makinetech holster, you'll notice that the butt end is not like sticking out at all. The addition of the Magwell doesn't make it any less concealable. So I think that that is something that's really cool. Outside of that, with this off, there is a little ramp here. So the Magwell is beveled right out of the box without you having to buy the Magwell. And then it's even beveled a little bit towards the front, which naturally gives you a little lip for your pinky to catch on. But adding this Magwell gives you even more of a lip for the pinky to catch onto. And it does make these reloads just ridiculously smooth. In my opinion, the Magwell is a must, and if you think about it, the grip frame itself is, I got it for $45 from Rainier Arms, and then the Magwell actually costs more than the grip frame. The Magwell is about, I think after shipping, it's like $85 depending on the shipping method that you choose. So it's kind of funny that the Magwell costs more than the frame itself. But with the two together, you're still not really killing the bank. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the rails. And I won't take this off to demonstrate this. It's just X carries, they're not the smoothest actions in the world. They're definitely not the roughest. And after some break-in time, they do get really, really smooth. After about, I don't know, 500 rounds with my first X carry, it had a really nice, smooth, like I could press check it all day and not have any issues. This slide on this frame is just ridiculously smooth, and the only thing I can chalk it up to is the frame itself. It seems like the finish that they put on this, especially up here on the frame where the slide meets the frame, is just really, really smooth. I'll lock it back and see if you can see it there. They're not exactly polished, but the rest of the gun is kind of in a nice matte finish. These are definitely smoother. Kind of to conclude, this isn't necessarily a review of the X-Carry itself. I will do another one of those. I realize that I've done a review of the X-Carry at the very beginning of my channel. Not the greatest review, so if you want to see how my format used to be, I think I did 3 guns in this, you know, I was behind the camera, it was almost a tabletop view. Hideous, okay? We've come a long way since then. So if you want to go watch that review, go for it. You'll hear a lot of my opinions about the X-Carry, which haven't really changed. It's a fantastic firearm, but I'm going to do a full review of this setup in particular in the future. Right now, I'm about 500 rounds into this setup right here as it stands. And when I'm through about 1,000, that's when I will do another review like this of the X-Carry as a whole package with this Polymer 80 grip frame. I don't have too much more to say about it right now than what I've said about the frame and what my other review says about the X-Carry. Expect that in the future. For now, just know this is an amazing setup. It gives you insane control over the firearm. With its high bore axis, that's something that's super important. So the ability to really wrench down on this thing is super helpful, and in my opinion, this upgrade makes this one of the best all-around firearm options that you have out there. Currently, you'll notice that I have a Mckinetix holster. Let's see how we can conceal with that 21 rounder. It's not terrible. You can kind of see it poking out there. Let's just move it over to the middle a little bit more. There you go, it's gone. I never had an issue carrying the X-Carry, even though it's more or less a full-size gun, right? 17 rounds. So this can be your carry gun. This can be your range gun. This can be your big bag gun. It can cover all of the bases, and I will get into all of that in my next review. If you liked this video, as always, I'd love it if you would like and subscribe. Also, guys who liked the video, go down in the comment section and let me know what you liked about it so that I can keep doing those things. As always, guys, I will catch you later.